What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and continue learning about 10 amazing facts about Canada. If you haven't seen part 1, feel free to go check that out or start right here. Why not? But in part 1, there was amazing facts, yes, but some downright disturbing, some kind of random, interesting for sure. I don't know, some of the stuff, I think I just can't let it go in part 1 about the sourdough cocktail, where you're drinking this Canadian cocktail that has a severed human toe in it. I honestly couldn't get to sleep last night, still knowing that exists. But I think maybe finishing the amazing facts today will finally put it to rest, so I may sleep. But seriously, in part 1, we had some amazing places around Canada: the food, the cocktail, some of the celebrities, the Canadian celebrities, and they were talking about some of the most amazing Canadian inventions. People in America really, for one thing, get very shocked when there are celebrities we find out are Canadian, almost like they've been lying to us or something. We're like, they're Canadian? They've been Canadian this whole time? When did they get that transplant? What? Like, it makes no sense. And some of the inventions, I think Americans just like to think we invented everything cool, but Canada, man. So part 1 was quite good. It's maybe some of the reason I love these videos so much is because you really don't know what kind of facts you're gonna get when it's just a video about amazing facts about Canada. So I am quite excited, cautiously optimistic, continuing right now the top 10 amazing facts about Canada. Let's take a look.
Number 4, NHL, lacrosse, and Canada. Even if you're greatly removed from Canadian culture, chances are you would know about the Canadian love for the National Hockey League.
Yes. I actually, I don't follow hockey. Don't attack me, but don't immediately. I'm sorry. I don't follow hockey. Most Americans don't follow hockey. I didn't know the NHL. I don't know if that's an American league or a Canadian league or just a intercontinental league or a world league. It's a national hockey league, but there's definitely Canadian teams participating. I don't know. I feel like I can just ramble on forever speculating about the hockey league. But yeah, the fact that hockey is so incredibly popular in Canada is something Americans almost stereotypically think about Canada. And I have to say, with everything I've seen on the YouTubes, that appears to be true. And it's not even a bad thing. It's kind of like how Americans are obsessed with American football.
If you have any doubts over just how much the country is into hockey, just remember the 2011 riots that broke out after the Canucks lost the Stanley Cup to the Boston Bruins.
What? What? Okay. This is why we watch these videos. This is why we go to them. You get all happy. I'm having the time of my life. Oh, Canadians, hockey, woohoo! And then suddenly, riots and fires breaking out over the Stanley Cup. Obviously seems bad, but I want to watch that again since I know it's coming. What was this? Because the Canucks lost a championship?
How much the country is into hockey. Just remember the 2011 riots that broke out after the Canucks lost the Stanley Cup to the Boston Bruins.
Oh man, who are we rioting against? Or I guess people were just upset, or maybe, as with a lot of these things, maybe a select few like troublemakers kind of ruined it for everyone. Like, honestly, there's a raging fire going on, but everyone seems to be actually like standing away, not even like
riots that broke out
like this. Like, this crowd is not, like, the police aren't holding them back. So I don't know. I think I'm trying to give the Canadians the benefit of the doubt, even when it comes to rioting in the streets for hockey. I didn't know that. It's a very Canadian, it's a very Canadian thing to do, riot because of losing hockey.
After the Canucks lost the Stanley Cup to the Boston Bruins.
Huh.
What is often overlooked is the country's love for lacrosse. And considering the sport received its first set of official rules by Canadian William George Beers.
Yeah, lacrosse. I do not think of lacrosse when I think of Canada. Most Americans do not think of lacrosse when we think of Canada. Lacrosse is not popular in America. I've heard of it. People play it at schools and stuff. I didn't know a Canadian came up with the rules of the game. That's pretty cool. And I really don't ever appreciate the fact that it's actually apparently quite popular in Canada. Like, that's surprising to me. I just think of hockey.
There's a lot of love. Where hockey is considered the country's national winter sport, lacrosse fills the summertime gap as the national summer sport.
You know, so lacrosse is like the summer version of hockey. Lacrosse is kind of similar to hockey, isn't it, when you think about it? Like as a sport, as a team sport where you're wielding a stick, manipulating a puck or a ball into a net on a field. They're pretty similar. So you can play lacrosse in the summer. This actually makes a lot of sense. Like, I just had to stop and think about it for a sec. I'm enjoying this video. It's really making me think and appreciate the amazing facts.
Canada also produced Gary Gait, a lacrosse player considered one of the best with a win in every major lacrosse championship under his belt.
Wow.
Number 3, Wars of the Great White North.
Oh.
Think Canada is nothing but polite citizens and peace? While that could possibly be how things are today,
polite citizens and what?
But polite citizens and peas?
Polite citizens and peas? Are Canadians peas? Is that one of the amazing facts on this list? That Canadians, you're just a bunch of peas. I don't I'm making jokes here because I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the narrator said there.
While that could possibly be how things are today, the country and its military has seen its fair share of bloodshed. During the 1700s, Quebec City was a target for British forces, though it was never reached.
Yeah, see, this is actually useful because even I have trouble keeping track of this, and I've gone out of my way to try to learn some of the Canadian history. The Canadian British Empire history, even the Canadian American history is just not taught much at all in American history classes. We tend to focus on, well, honestly, if it's not straight up American history and like American Revolution, American Civil War, then we're learning about world history very random, like about the pyramids of Egypt and the Great Wall of China, and shockingly little appreciation for the Canadian history. Really shocking to me when I think about it.
But Acadia, now modern-day Nova Scotia, and its capital, Port Royal, was lost. Between 1866 and 1871, Canadian forces took on the Fenian Brotherhood during the Fenian Raids.
Whoa, yeah, like this military conflict, I've never even heard of it.
Years after the Fenian Raids ceased, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Egypt fought against Sudan military, leading to the Anglo-Egyptian Sudan of the British Empire.
What? There's a lot of stuff here I've never heard of.
Later conflicts include the Northwest Rebellion of 1885, World War I, the Russian Civil War of 1918, World War II, the Persian Gulf War, the Libyan Civil War.
I honestly had no idea Canada was involved in so many military conflicts. I don't know to what extent. I kind of knew about World War I, World War II, but this is not a short list.
And the continued war efforts against terrorism. Number 2,
Wow. I mean, I think Canada is known as peaceful. Not like neutral, like Switzerland or something, but very, very peaceful. And the culture of Canadians are seen as nice, peaceful people. So I guess maybe that kind of affects my brain a bit, thinking like, Canada must not have been involved in many military engagements. So that was actually kind of surprising to me. But Again, I'm not very good with the history of Canada.
Canadian Eskimo dog. This fluffy
Canadian Eskimo dog. I'm glad this deserves its own like amazing fact. An entire one about the horrors of the world and Canadians like serving in the military. And then next fact, dogs. Perfect. I mean, I'm not complaining.
against terrorism. Number 2, the Canadian Eskimo dog.
Okay.
This fluffy ball of adorable fur has been an Arctic inhabitant for upwards of 4,000 years, initially
Wow.
bred by the ancestors of the modern-day Inuit.
Wow. So this is a Canadian dog. Like its ancestry is from Canada, raised by descendants of the Inuit. I didn't know there was a dog that had like Canada in the name.
Thule or Thule. Not typically raised as a household pet, the Canadian Eskimo dog has always been a work dog.
Of course it would be the Canadian Eskimo dog. Like, it's built for the cold, like, desolate landscape and snow. That's pretty cool. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Used throughout history to track seal holes, hunt polar bears, haul supplies, and carry people. Over the
Wow.
course of 20 years, between the 50s and 70s, Royal Canadian Mounted Police intentionally killed an estimated 1,000 to 20,000 dogs, allegedly to remove sick or dangerous pups.
Wow, that's sad. Oh man, this is this video. I swear this video goes into like the most obscure. Like it will just randomly take a complete right turn and be like, Canada, one of the greatest places to visit. By the way, you can suck on a severed toe in this cocktail. And Canadian Mounties had to murder tons of snow Canadian Eskimo pups. And it's like, whoa. Like, kind of, I don't know. Some of this is a bit disturbing, but it's entertaining. I'll give it that.
As of 2008, only 300 purebred Canadian Eskimo dogs remain.
There's only 300 purebred Canadian Eskimo dogs. Wow.
Putting this adorable working dog on the threatened species list.
Oh, it's actually on like the threatened endangered species.
Dogs remain, putting this adorable working dog on the threatened species list.
Ah, that's sad. I don't know. Like they're not house pets by the sound of it. They are working dogs. So it's like it's a species of dog that's kind of difficult to find a home because they like to work. That's what they were bred for.
Considering its history and current status, this useful pup is often thought to be one of North America's oldest and rarest purebred indigenous domestic canines. Other
Wow.
breeds of canine that originate from Canada include the Newfoundland, the Landseer, and the Labrador Husky.
The Newfoundland. I never put that together. The Newfoundland dog.
Originate from Canada include the Newfoundland,
Ah.
the Landseer, and the Labrador Husky.
Wow.
Number 1, a world of records.
Oh.
Taking the cake in one of Canada's proudest moments is Jaresh Joachim, who, in 2008, set the record for the longest non-stop Elvis Presley impersonation. Joachim's impersonation marathon ended after 55 hours, beating out the standing record of 43.
Oh, of course this is number one. Well, I mean, you got the world's longest Elvis impersonation. You gotta put it at number one on the list. Oh my gosh.
Set the record for the longest non-stop Elvis Presley impersonation.
Longest non-stop Elvis impersonation. That is a world record. It is held by a Canadian. Let it be known.
Joachim's impersonation marathon ended after 55 hours, beating out the standing record of 43 hours and 11 minutes.
55? I mean, I'm poking fun at it a little bit, because obviously it's a little silly, like by design. 55 hours of shaking it. I don't care who you are. That's impressive.
Equally as impressive were Donovan Bailey's once world record of running a 100 meters in 9.84 seconds.
Yeah.
Cornell Dobrin's 2009 record for the shortest time biking across Canada, coming in at 27 days, 5 hours, and 30 minutes.
Oh, that's cool. There's like a dedicated record to biking across Canada. That's awesome, actually. There must be a record for the US as well. I never thought about that. Fastest time to just bike across Canada. Somehow we went from the longest Elvis impersonation, like as an athletic feat, to actual like sprinting and bicycling. No, I mean, I don't want to rip on the Elvis impersonation too much. That took stamina.
And the 2010 dodgeball game that topped the record for largest game at 1,200
Oh.
participants.
Oh, this is just chaos. This is chaos. And if you hit someone with your ball, I'm sure they were. Well, Canadians might actually have some kind of code of honor where if they're hit. But this could not work in America. That's why it's a Canadian record. In America, everyone would be hitting each other. No one would actually leave the game. It'd be like, that didn't hit me. That just came within a millimeter.
Only to be reclaimed 2 years later by UC students with some 4,000 plus participants. Additional records include longest street in the world, world's largest man-made non-nuclear wartime explosion, world's largest maple leaf,
World's largest maple leaf. Man, how big is that?
and
Man, wait a minute. I gotta pause it. Hold up. Appreciate this leaf for a sec. Looks like it's, gosh, is that almost 2 feet wide or something?
just maple leaf, and world's largest tin soldier standing at 9.8 meters, or
World's largest tin soldier. Is that different than a nutcracker? Yeah, this isn't a nutcracker, is it? Doesn't have the little nutcracker part.
32 feet. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure
Man, somehow that kind of went off the rails at the end, but in the best way. I liked it. That was like, I think with the records, the world's biggest dodgeball, biggest Tin Man, Elvis impersonator. That was good. This was a good video. Like, for not having any clue what to expect, this was entertaining. Like, they had some good facts. Stuff I didn't even know I wanted to know, honestly. This was by Top 10 Archive, and I liked it. I gotta give that a like. That was legitimately entertaining and informative. Legitimately informative. There was like some actually obscure Canadian facts I never, ever would have known if not for this video. So I'm thankful for that, let's say, and I enjoyed it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture and just stuff in Canada I've never seen before or learned about, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.